Boom, boom, boom. All right, guys. I hope you can see me and you can hear me. Tell me what do you see and what do you hear? I mean, the quality of the mic. Just tell me the quality of the video and the quality of the mic. Need to do this, need to check that out for our stream. Yeah, I'm using this mic. Hopefully the sound should be this mic. Hopefully the sound should be nice. Okay, I can read your comments. Hi, hi, hi. Good afternoon, good evening as for me. I love you. I love you too, my friends. Love you so much. Hi, man. I'm from Pakistan Airlines. Hi to Pakistan. Yes, yes, yes. Everything is cool, good quality. All right. Live. I love the echo. Yeah, probably all. Without the echo, it should be like this, but I'll not take it for 2 hours long. Okay, here we go. Hope you're all here. And let's talk about the news, about my channel, about what is happening actually in my life. Um, so I don't have many views right now. I don't know why, but my channel dropped to what it was before, like 6 months before or 5 months before. I don't know why. Maybe because I filmed about the crashes, not the crashes, but aviation accidents and incidents. Maybe YouTube doesn't like it. I don't really know. So probably I'll just delete my channel. No, I'm just joking. I'm not here for numbers. I'm here just to share my experience. That is why no matter what numbers I have right now, we'll just continue. I'll film some interesting content, maybe new stuff that you probably enjoy. And my friends, just maybe you have some ideas for me. What should I put to my channel? Maybe you know something better because you are my viewers, so of course you know much better. Because if I film pilot vlogs each time, well, nothing really interesting there. The pilot job is quite routine nowadays. Well, sometimes you have interesting, challenging weather conditions, but not all the time. So that is why maybe you have ideas for me to film something. And what else? Now I'll go to your comments, maybe to answer some of your questions, and later on we'll continue with news. I really enjoy the vlogs you do. Yes, I do also enjoy the vlogs, but it will be routine. So sooner or later, you'll just get used to those stuff like uh, thrust advance, check engine stable, both engine stabilized, set reduce takeoff thrust, and you just take off. Nothing is really happening there. And now we don't fly to interesting airports. We fly to almost the same airports like Istanbul, Sharm el Sheikh, and etc. Odessa had already many flights to Odessa, and you saw this, and Europe, the European Union, is still closed for tourists, so nothing really to see there. Then is your next flight. The next flight should be this week, on Thursday. I'm going to Kharkiv as a passenger, and from Kharkiv I'll fly to Egypt, to Hurghada, and back to Kiev. How do you buy a plane? You just, if you are airline, you need to negotiate with the designer, with the aircraft manufacturer. If you want to buy it on your own, well, just search and you'll buy it like in internet or something. My friends, I'll just put the what should I put? To live chat limit. I'll set the slow mode for 60 seconds because I don't really get your comments. So sorry about it. each 60 seconds you'll be able to write your comments. Sorry about it, but the chat is very very fast for me, so I cannot see anything. I cannot see your questions. I think you can add some info about airports, some details in your logs. Yes, probably. I think to put maybe the sound behind the video. So maybe I'll film something with the camera, like a vlog. I'll put it in the from the cockpit perspective, and also I will, record my audio, my voice, explain about the particular airport, what runways, what is the nearby city, etc., etc., etc. So maybe I'll try to improve my pilot vlogs as well. It doesn't matter if it's routine with the cockpit video. Everyone is very interesting for us. Okay, yes, they're still kind of popular. And there's one more news, good news, that I have. The channel, probably you saw, if you like the cockpit videos, probably you saw the channel called Just Planes. It has more than 1 million views, or sorry, 1 million subscribers. So they contacted me and they want to film inside the airplane. They want to film me flying the airplane and they want to publish it on their channel. So I hope everything will be okay with that. We still need to negotiate some technical stuff uh, about the filming, but they will come to Ukraine. They want to come to Ukraine and film on board of our airplane. It will be absolute fantastic. Hello everyone. Can you fly to Muscat, Oman? We don't have regular flights to Oman, so not now, my friend, not now. If we have some charter, probably I'll fly there, but no, we don't have flights there. You're my favorite YouTuber. Yeah, nice. Just film your normal life logs is there. Normal life, normal life. Actually, I spend most of the time with my family, and my family, my wife, she doesn't want to be filmed on my vlogs. I don't know why. It's her will, and I respect her decision. So, no filming for my wife. She is not a public person. I don't know why. Hello from Greece. Hello to Greece. Is the exam hard? Do you mean exam for the license? Could be hard, especially in the European Union. There are more than 15,000 questions. If you want to have the United States license, the FAA license, it will be much easier for you to get. You're such a nice human being, human being. Which is your favorite airline? Mine is Air Serbia. I wonder what airplanes do they fly. For me, I like many airlines, but I employed in Ukraine International, and I like to fly with Ukraine International. So probably it's my best airline as for now. I like it a lot. And also, I was flying in Garuda, Indonesia, and it's also a fantastic airline to fly. What else, my friends? One more good news. This month, in on March, I'll have the largest, the biggest, or how it's say, the I'll have around 35 flight hours. It's the biggest amount of hours that I had in nearby year. It's craziest for me because usually I have like not more than 25 hours, like 20, sometimes even 15 hours per month because of the crisis. But this month, 35, crazy, but still far to reach the good old days, like when we flew around 75, 80 hours. But hopefully the crisis, we will pass this crisis. Air Serbia flies ETR 72 and 42 Airbus 320, Airbus 330. Nice. So all of their airplanes are produced in France, in Toulouse factory. Let me edit the comment section once again. I'll reduce the for you to wait for your next comment. So a little bit sorting. So now I have current viewers, 56 viewers, not a lot, because usually we have more than 100 on live chat. But as I said, I don't care about the numbers. I'm here to produce the content for you. No matter how many people would watch me, I'll still try to do my best to film the videos. How much do planes cost? Depends on the airplane, my friend, from maybe $25,000 up to, I don't know, 400 million or something for Airbus 380, but no one needs those planes anymore. Maybe then you're teaching aerodynamics, etc. You can demonstrate in simulator. Probably, but it's kind of hard. I have the board just behind me, so I can demonstrate it with my chalk there. Why do windscreen windows have odd shapes, not square? Mm, I think to provide a better view for pilots. If you have the square windows, you need to have them much more quantity of those windows in the front, because the nose is shaped in as it's a circle if you look at it, so you cannot put like two squares and have the same view with the different shape windows. Good afternoon, I saw your Anton of 2 video the other day. I really enjoyed it. Then will we fly with the small Technom again? I like the small plane POV videos, and the Just Planes film is great idea. Yes, they contact me, and I hope they'll film the video with me, with my airline. I like Technom, and hopefully we'll fly it soon. About Antonov 2, probably will produce more content with Antonov 2, probably. Much love from India. Hello to India. What game is this? War. That's very heartwarming, Captain. I will be your most loyal subscriber. Thank you. Thank you so much. How much money was your Boeing 737? Do you mean type rating? It was around $13,000 or something. So quite a lot for type rating. Then a Q&A video. You mean? Yeah, it should be soon. Yeah, I should film it. Sorry about it, but I hadn't had the time last week because I had to do lots of work. So I had to film the videos not related to Q&A, and I also had flights last week. So sorry about it. This week it will be for sure the Q&A video. What do you think about the Airbus 350 cockpit? Amazing, right? Yes, I think it's one of the best cockpits we have in commercial aircraft. Very sophisticated, very nice cockpit as for a pilot, and a very autonomous cockpit to fly. So for emergency descent, you just press the button and the airplane performs the emergency descent automatically. It's fantastic. I'm a huge fan, Captain. Hi. Thank you for your support. Your videos are epic. Love Air A350 wallpaper. Yes, I like it as well. Easter West pilot blog is best. uh, so it doesn't. They are dynamical. I didn't learn. Etihad, Qatar, or Emirates. Which is your favorite? I think Qatar probably. Why? Because I like those airplanes. I like that they still. I like Airbus 350, so they have it in their fleet. Probably that is why I like Qatar a little bit more. As for Emirates, my friends, I want to tell you that once I applied there, and actually I passed the interview with Emirates, but I think it's the topic for other video. I should film about the screening, the pilot screening in Emirates. How many planes do you own? I own 0 airplanes. I fly not my own airplanes. I fly on my airline. They own airplanes, and I fly in the air club in the neighbor city here in Ukraine. So they provide the airplane for the training. How long does an exterior inspection take? Depends on your airplane. For Boeing, it is for Boeing 737. It's not more than 7 minutes usually. So 5, 7 minutes. You just walk around. You're not a technician, so we do not open the latches, hatches. So usually we just check the outside, the exterior part, and then finish very, very fast. How hard it is to get a job. Nowadays, it's very hard, my friend, very hard. So depends where you live, of course, but nowadays it's very. Will we see more of motorbike? You will. Yes, I promise you. The season opens next month, so I'll ride more. Once you get out of flying school, how hard it is to get a job? Hard. Do you fly Lufthansa? No, I don't fly in Lufthansa. They have very interesting policy. They You can go there just once. From what I heard, you can apply there just once for your lifetime. If you didn't pass the screening, finish. You don't have any attempts. Unlike in Emirates, you can apply as many. You can have as many tries as you want. Have you ever heard of Boeing A320? No, it's Airbus A320. What do you think? Do you have TikTok? I have it, but I do not film the videos there. I just register in TikTok as pilot blog. I registered there for no one to take the same name. So we don't know what is going to be in TikTok in the future. For now, I don't think it's for me, but I registered there just to keep the name pilot blog. That's it. Hi Dennis, if you know, can you explain what is summing mechanism? Summing mechanism. Yes, I read your comment under my video. I don't know what is that for now. I'm trying to search it, but we don't have the information about the summing mechanism on the nozzle gear in flight crew operations manual. So I need to search in maintenance manual of the airplane. For now, I don't have it. So we don't have the maintenance manual. Um, Sorry, I cannot provide you with this information for now, but I have a friend who is technician, so I'll write to him and he'll respond to me and I'll respond to you on your comment. Just wait a little. What airline do you fly? Probably Ukraine International Airlines. I'm Indian citizen and I want to do my aviation in Greece. Can I get a job in European airlines? If you have, yes, if you finished your education in Greece, of course you'll be able to have you have more chances to be employed in European Union since you'll have the European pilot license. But still, many of the airlines require you to have the European passport. That's the biggest problem, probably. Then will they explain with the Zibo in March this month? I'll buy it and I'll fly it. When do you? Well, you are looking so sick. Will be better and fly. I am not looking sick. Probably, maybe it's the camera, but I feel perfectly fine. And just recently, I passed my medical check, the regular, so I'm perfectly healthy. And I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. So why should? Maybe it's the camera angle, or maybe the slides or something. The way you're saying is very hard to get a job. It looks like I'll never get this job after finishing flight school. If you're finishing just right now, probably you'll not have your job. But in couple of years, yes, you'll have your job. I'm almost sure about it because now not many people want to go to start the pilot training, but in future because of that we'll have the pilot shortage. That is what I'm thinking about. Now, many guys, many pilots, they lose their jobs and probably find them in different industries or areas. So in future, I think you'll have the job if you just wait a little bit. Hey, Captain, do you know turboprop flight simulator? No, I don't know about it. Is it called turboprop? What are your working days in a week? I have now one working day per week, as usual. Before a flight, a car from your company came and took you to the airport. Yes, I have the shuttle bus to go to the airport. It's a normal thing. How much money do you get from being a pilot? I cannot tell you the exact number, the money. I know in the United States dollars. You just can Google it, and you can divide it by 4 or 5 times because now we are in a crisis. Salary drop because of that. It's okay for living. That's what I want to say. It's okay to go buying maybe some grocery, to go to the grocery stores, buying some food, paying for your bills. And also, YouTube is now helping me to pay for the bills, but mm, not as it was before. Do you prefer the Boeing 747 or Airbus 380? I like Boeing 747 more, not because I'm the Boeing pilot, but because it looks better. I like the exterior look of Boeing 747. Thank you much, Dennis. By the way, appreciate your help anytime. What I'll just discuss. I'll just discover about what you asked me before, and I'll reply to you. Hey, Pilot Dog, how are you? I'm fine. Hello, what's happened with the URGOA? Why it not flying? All of our Boeing 777s are being grounded because there is no demand for that airplane types. Nothing happened to that airplane. It can fly, but no demand. We don't have regular flights to New York. We don't have regular flights to Delhi. So that is why it's grounded. Good evening, Dennis. Do you read Instagram messages and reply? Well, sometimes very rare. Maybe after this stream, I'll read my Instagram messages and reply. And it happens not very often because that requires lots of time, and I don't have lots of time right now. How long does it take to get your airline pilot, including flight school? Usually not more than 2.5 years. So 2 or 3 years depends. Sometimes even less than 2 years depends on your local regulations on how much money you have for your training. If you, for example, get a job in Emirates and you are chosen to fly Airbus 380, do you have to pay for training? No, no. They pay for you, they pay for your license, they pay for everything. They do not require that training. They'll pay for you, to you, I mean. In which airlines you worked airliner? I worked in Ukraine airline. I worked in Urga. It is my first airline, and maybe it's not proper way to say worked. I was on my commercial pilot training there. So Urga, Uter Ukraine, then Garuda Indonesia, and after that Ukraine International Airlines. What was your worst nightmare flight? I hadn't those. Every flight was okay for me. Do more cooking videos. Okay. And fly in ton of two. All right, I'll do it. What? Okay. Have you ever played Among Us? No, I'm not really a gamer. I don't know even what's this game about. Which airplane did you fly first? Firstly, I flew the glider, not the airplane. Can you tell the type rating cost of Boeing 747? I think a little bit higher than Boeing 737, maybe around $15,000 because There are not as many flight simulators as for Boeing 737, so probably you'll pay more for that. If you look at the Indonesia first, no, firstly I flew. Well, I got my commercial pilot license in Urga Airlines. It's here in Ukraine. After that, Uter Ukraine. After that, Garuda. Have you ever flown to Hungary or Spain? Yes, I flew to Hungary, to Budapest, and Spain. Yes, I flew to Barcelona. I flew to Madrid. Nice places. Also, I had overnight stay in Madrid, and it was during the summertime last year. Oh no, 2 years ago, and it was very hot. Can you let passenger in a cockpit? Probably yes, but not in flight. So we had the flight to nowhere just recently, on Embraer 195, and today I'll finish the editing of that video, and tomorrow I'll publish it on my channel. You will see everything, and we let the passengers to come to the cockpit, but on the ground only, so not in flight. On the ground, probably yes. How many airports have you have visited? Oh, lots of airports. Lots of airports. I visited almost all the Indonesian airports and Europe airports, European. I haven't flown in America, in North America, in South America, but Europe, some airports in Russia, Indonesia. Yes, I think many, many, more than 100 for sure. Sorry. Then is your next flight and where? My next flight this week on Thursday, I'm going to Kharkiv. From Kharkiv, I'm going to Hurghada. It's Egypt. I'm Turkish, and what do you think about the Turks, Mr. Dennis? I think you are great. You have a very beautiful country, and you build a very beautiful airport in Istanbul. It's one of my favorite airports. I like to fly there. It's actually the biggest airport around, and nice airport. I wish we have the same in Ukraine. And also, I like the nature. My dream is to take the motorcycle and ride across the Turkish borders and Turkey itself. So I like it. Thank you for visiting the UAE maintenance facility. That was a good video. Yes, I was just spending a couple of hours there, just vlogging, nothing special, no any interesting stuff as I mean from the technical perspective, from the tech point of view, just vlogging, and that's it. Not could be just simple video. Hey Captain, in some planes there are tiny holes in the passenger windows. Why is that? These holes just used to deliver the pressure. Let's say for the pressure to go from one layer of the glass to other layer of the glass. If you have the vacuum there, you have the pressure increased inside the window. So that is why there is a tiny hole to bypass the air, bypass the pressure. Why did you go and work in Indonesia? Well, we had pilot layoffs in my airline in Uter, Ukraine, and they got rid of all ATR that they took Boeings, and they say to me, well, we're gonna lay off you soon. And I just Googled the ATR captain needed, so I went to the first airline that replied to me, and that airline was Garuda Indonesia. And I really enjoyed my time there. Probably I'll film one more video on my channel about explaining to you
Hi
what
Dennis, only the best for you and your channel. Wish you more and more flights in nearest future.
Wow, thank you a lot. Hi Dennis, only the best for you and your channel. Wish you more flights in nearest future. Thank you a lot. Luckily this month probably I'll have 35 hours, much more than before. And thank you for support my channel. And because with 360 camera, I will get to the new level. This channel will be up to the new level. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you again for your great support. What were we talking about? Okay, let's let's continue. Thank you, Vlad, for your support. Um, mm, mm, mm. Can you get a job in EU with Serbian license? If the Serbia is part of European Union, I don't know, probably not, probably yes, you can get the job there. If not, you need to go to European Union country, any country, and pass the exam. I'm interested to see your first ever YouTube video. Yes, it's nice. It's a visual approach in and the airport, Indonesia. Have a nice stream, Captain. Thank you. Um, what is your favorite plane? One of my favorites is you can see just now on screen, well, some part of this plane. It's Airbus A350. If we're speaking about the commercial airplanes, but my favorite plane of those that I've flown is actually Antonov 28 because it's very powerful and it's very maneuverable. It has the sure field and takeoff performance. Nice airplane to fly. Also, I like Boeing 737, the airplane that I fly. But there are some airplanes that I like more than Boeing 737. What is the most dangerous case you have experienced in your aviation life? It's interesting, but
Bum
I
bum.
have around
Hi, Dennis.
6,500
Fly
hours,
safe.
but I hadn't had any kind of. Dennis Akan, thank you for watching me again. Hi, Dennis. Fly safe. Dennis, I chatted you privately, but I know that you have 3 kids. But thank you for your donations. Um, Once I wanted to donate to you as well, but I think you accept only super chat. Super chat is not working in Ukraine, and Yandex also. So if you if you watch this video, just write a comment. How can I share it back? Also, because you support my channel quite a lot. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. With new 360 camera, you will bring my channel to the new level, and those videos, the 360 videos, are absolute awesome. And I watched, by the way, your video. Then you flew on Cessna 172. The quality was, maybe the weather was not perfect, and or probably you didn't edit the video. The quality usually is better, or maybe the GoPro films like that. But even though the quality was not the best, I like that video. I like that a lot. So the 360 videos are fantastic, and yours as well. Had you thoughts of flying in Iveo or what sim in the simulators? Probably then I'll buy them X-Plane in the future. I will install the WhatSim application to fly with other simmers. I think it's fantastic. Then you have less flights than usual. Of course, I'll do it. But not now. Maybe this month I'll try, and of course I'll film it. If you're a captain on the Boeing 747, you are switched to Airbus A320. Are you still captain? Usually, yes. If you switch from the single aisle airplane like Boeing 737 or Airbus 320 to fly bigger airplane as Airbus 350 or 777, you may go to via first officer seat, via right seat, then to become a captain. But some airlines permit you to fly directly as a captain if you go for the bigger. If you go for a smaller, usually you go to captain position. It's my dream to be a pilot. Follow your dream and wish you all the best with that. It's getting hard to become a pilot, not because of the process is hard, but because you need to find the money for it. What else? How's your bikes doing? My bikes are fine. They are relaxing, resting, and hopefully soon I'll take them because the season should be open very soon. Would you recommend anyone going pilot training this in this time? It depends where you live. If you have the dream, if you really like it, I would recommend to follow it, no matter what, because it is not the worst crisis for. If we speak about my country, Ukraine, it was even hardest crisis in 90s. Then Soviet Union collapsed, and many pilots from Aeroflot, there was one airline, Aeroflot, all of the pilots imminently lost their jobs. And because there was no Aeroflot anymore, it was just one airline and it collapsed. No one had the job. Later on, the new airlines start to be funded by businessmen. Some of the pilots found the jobs, but not all. How long it take you to become a pilot? Can you please tell me? For me, it took 5.5 years because in my country you need to have the education, like what master's degree or bachelor's degree, to be able to fly in a local airline. Let's go to the bottom. What kind of license do you have? ISA, FA. I have. Does Ukraine issue EASA license? No, we issue Ukraine issues only ICAO license. ICAO. I have an ICAO ATPL. With that license, I am unable to fly in United States. I am unable to fly in European Union. Yes, but I was able to fly in Indonesia with my license. What if you don't have pilot job? So what you do? I don't know. I have my YouTube channel. Maybe I'll just go to YouTube and film many more new videos. Of course, if I lose my job, I won't be able to film pilot vlogs anymore. But I'll try to find something new to film. By the way, one more news, my friends. I have the great support from my patrons on Patreon. The Patreon is like the blogging platform. It's crowdfunding platform where you can, of course, pledge some money, and in the back you'll have the access to some perks, and there you can call me directly. You can email me directly. You can. Do some other stuff. Depends on the level of your support, and also with help of my patrons I have the idea how to spend that money, and that money I'll fly the oldest airplane in Ukraine, the oldest commercial airplane, the Antonov 24, from Kiev Zhelany to Odessa. In Odessa, I'll go to the flight simulator of Boeing 737. We have one there. It's not the full motion simulator, but I don't need it to film the video. So I'll go there, I'll film the video, and at the same day, I'll fly back filming the Antonov 24. I think it's a nice idea to spend the money from my Patreon account. What do you think about it? And by the way, if you want to support my channel, if you want to expand it, you can participate me on Patreon. The link is just below. Okay, let's continue. Hello, where are you next flight? I already told this week to Hurghada. How many exams are there for getting commercial pilot license? Depends. Usually
Bum,
there
bum.
are 14 subjects, and if you want to get the European license, there are more than 15,000 questions. How do you got the job in Garuda Indonesia before getting to UIA? Um, well, I just applied there. They have the website, and I just applied there, and they hired me. Very easy. What is the bachelor degree you have graduated from? I graduated from National Aviation University, and actually we had the department, the pilot engineering department. So we studied the navigation, meteorology, the same subjects that you have during your PPL, CPL, ATPL training. Plus, we had some engineering subjects like material reductions, physics, aerodynamics, the deep knowledge of aerodynamics, so something like that. So have I can be engineer as well. What your favorite island in Indonesia country? Probably Makassar. Sorry, not Makassar, Sulawesi, because my home base was in Makassar. The Makassar is in Sulawesi, and I just like the shape of that island. And there you can find volcanoes, mountains. You can find jungles. I think it's very versatile type of island. I like it. If you get sick and have to recover for 6 months, will you get fired? No, I hadn't heard about the 6 months. Once my medical was suspended, I had the surgery on my appendix, so my appendix was removed, and I wasn't able to fly for 1 month. Just temporarily suspended. You have your medical check after you get yourself okay, after your state normalized, and that's it. I don't think after 6 months they will fire you, but it depends on airlines. Some airlines are very strict and they don't care. But here in my airline, they really care about their staff, about the pilots. So in that case, no, they'll. I'm sure that they would keep my job even after 6 months. Maybe in future we created UA virtual, which based on real procedures. Will join. Maybe you'll join us. Yes, why not? Yes, I may join you. Do you mean the flight simulator, UA virtual? Yes, of course. Is it hard to be a pilot and control the airplane? Not really. If you're trained to do so, it's just your job. It's like being a bus driver and controlling the bus. The airplane is just more sophisticated bus, so you need to know more things to control it. But then you get it, and everything is okay. Very, very simple for you. Sir, I'm from how were able to arrange funds for training. Okay, the question is where I got the funds for training. My parents helped me with the funds, but back then the training cost was not as big as now. Now it's absolutely impossible. It would have been absolutely impossible for me to pay the $35,000 as it is now. So yeah, I was lucky with my training that it cost me just $6,000, something like that. Before joining the flight school, will they check my school's report? I mean, my grades? Yes, they usually check. Well, at least here. I don't know in your country. Bro, is it hard to become a pilot? It is hard to get money to become a pilot. It's not hard to become a pilot if you have money, if you fly. Just enjoy the process. And yes, you just need to study. How long have you lived in Indonesia? 2 years. You mentioned that you had passed the interview in Emirates. Can you tell us, was it hard? It's kind of hard. The process is very long. It takes 4 days. It took 4 days. Now the process is different. Now you can check their website for their new process, and most of the part you just film the videos like I film right now, and you just send the video to them, and they check everything. If they are okay with what they see, they then invite you to Dubai. But for me it was 4 days in Dubai, all the process, and I would say it's hard. It's tiring. It's just tiring. 4 days, you go there, you pass one step of interview, the flight simulator, and every time you just not afraid, but you are nervous because yeah, every time you go to the interview, you're just nervous, and someday you just tired of this nervousness. In UAE, you get flight guarantee hour? Not now because of the crisis. I don't know now the airline that can give you the guaranteed flight hours now. So that's why the salary is not higher nowadays for pilots around the world. Are you the first pilot from your family of generation? Um, Probably yes. Well, my grandfather was aviator. He flew the military until of 12. My mother used to be the flight attendant, and my father was the engineer, the aviation engineer. So I'm from aviation family, but as a commercial pilot, probably I'm the first one. Will they allow me to study at flight school in my grades if my grades are not very good? I think yes, but if you want to apply to government program or you want to have to apply to cadet pilot program with some airline, they'll go and check your grades and they'll select the best of the best. It's like this. If you pay your own money, usually they don't care. There is the party near my house. All right, interesting that you have a party near your house. You might join, bro. If you have a knowledge to fly a plane, we can be a pilot. Okay. Can you press Alt 4 to set flight plan? No. What if you get cancer as a pilot? I don't know. You need to check the medical conditions. Can you fly with the cancer? What type of cancer do you have? Is it affecting your behavior? Is it affecting your body, heart? At some point, of course, you cannot fly at some of the cancer stages. But if it's just the beginning, I think you can do it. You can fly, probably. It depends. Can you tell us how many years it takes to become a pilot from starting till the end? Um, Usually it's not more than 2.5 years. 2.5, 3 years, sometimes even less than 2 years. Depends. I'm tired of speaking English. I'm not tired, but it's complicated for me to speak English because in my mind, of course, I think in Russian. It's my mother language, so I translate in my mind before speaking in English. So it's complicated for me, of course. And that is why I choose to speak in English because it's not easy and I don't like easy things. Sir, I have no money to become a pilot. What I do, I have a lot of passion. Umair, the person named Umair. I know some of the people who hadn't had enough money for the pilot training, and yes, their way is was very complicated. And many of them, first they some of them became the flight attendants. They earned some money to invest for their pilot training. Some of them were working as a waitress. Some of them were working somewhere in other industries. And yes, it's getting hard if you don't have the money for training. For me it was more easier because my parents actually helped me with that. What can you say about Aveo Air EFE, which you've flown on 23rd February in simulator? On 23rd of February, I wasn't flying this Aveo. It was before, I think. Aveo is nice, but it was lagging a little bit. The server was overloaded temporarily. How old are you? I'm 34. Hello, Captain. If you make your own products, yes or no? What do you mean products? I'm thinking to write a book, like a notebook for pilot, with easy things, with easy and understandable things for maybe private pilots or for commercial pilots. Let's say formulas, let's say term formula, how to calculate descent. So all of this stuff I want to make the small book, the notebook for a pilot. So like I have this idea, but not for now, probably. Boom. Can a BBA aviation student complete their pilot training? Is it worth? What is BBA? Baltic Aviation BAA, probably Baltic Aviation Academy. If you already invested to pilot training, I would recommend you to finish it. Cheers from Poland. Cheers to Poland. Sir, what's your dream aircraft to fly? I would like to fly the Airbus A350. It's a nice airplane. Or Boeing 777, also great. Navigation displays for checking weather turbulence and help for landing. Yes, indeed. What if you get sleep, then you're flying at night and you're the captain of the flight? What do you do then? You just sleep. If you if you get sleep, you just sleep. You have one more pilot who will wake you up for sure. So if you want to sleep in the cockpit first, you need to negotiate with the other pilot that calls control sleep. And it's better sometimes to have a sleep or a nap for 20 minutes, but after those 20 minutes you'll have everything. You have your consciousness normalized and your body more will get used to be awake after 20 minutes of sleep. So it's better to have it rather than take naps and fly the airplane. What if you get okay? My house is noisy because the volume is full and I can't sleep. All right, quite hard for you. Sorry about it. Can I say I want to fly that type of airplane, or did they say no? Fly the airplane. I don't know. I didn't understand your question. How long do you take your Boeing 737 type rating? Just for two weeks. You can have it just for 2 weeks. You spend your time somewhere near to the flight simulator, and you go there every day, and you just have it done after 2 weeks. Are the weight and heights restriction in aviation? Well, some airlines may restrict you, and there is no specific weight restriction, but you need to have the weight and height ratio, and it's called the BMI index. Probably you know it. And my BMI index is getting a little bit close to 30. If you out of the 30, in some airlines they do not allow you even to go for the interviews, like Emirates. For Emirates, you need to have the BMI index 30 or less, like that. Why did you not reply to the comments for the last video? Because I hadn't time. I was flying for 3 days. Sorry about it. I'll try to reply. Not always possible for me. Sorry. Where can I study to an ATPL pilot in Ukraine? Probably Poltava. They have CPL. I know they have the CPL course for sure. For ATPL, I think you need to go to Kropivnitsky State Flight Academy. I think it's like that. Hello, hi. Why are puppy lights red and white? Because they are red, white, so you can easily identify the color difference from white and red, and it's easy for you to perceive that. Have you ever landed in Portugal? Not yet. How long are you flying for Ukraine International? 4 years, just 4 years. How long does the Boeing 737-900 can fly? For how long? I think more than 9 hours. It can be airborne. Bachelor or of Business Administration Aviation can worse to become a pilot. Why not? How hard was ATPL theory for you? It was very easy, but it depends on your school. For me, it was very easy. 2 weeks from Boeing 737 type rating. Awesome. Yeah, congrats. Nice. Ah, you mean Yes, it's the common for my answer. Yes, just for 2 weeks you can have it. My BMI is 19. It's quite low. Usually you need to have it around 25, from what I heard, around 25, yes. Is there any full motion aviation simulator in Ukraine? I think not for Boeing 737, not for Airbus, maybe for Antonov 148. We have the flight simulator in Gostomel, but for Western made airplanes, I don't think we have. How hard was ATPL 30? I already replied it. Sir, can you please explain us what the rudder trim? What does trim increases in flying? It just deflects the trim, and you just reduce the efforts for your pedal. So that's why you pull the trim. If you fly the Boeing 737, for example, in your cruise flight, sometimes you see the yoke is banking a little bit, and you help the rudder to centralize the yoke. So that is the main purpose. And also, if you have the engine malfunction, you just use the rudder trim to minimize the forces of your rudder pedal, just to reduce it. The trim basically needs to reduce the forces, the applied forces by the pilot. The Airbus, by the way, has the auto trim function. Don't need to trim it. What pilot do then they lost connection with ATC due to some bad weather or radio problem? Just normally for IFR rules, you just continue your flight. Mm, Depends on local regulation as well. You need to open the chapter for every country, the loss of ATC communication, and there you have the special procedures to follow. But mainly, you just follow your flight plan and need to land not later than after 30 minutes. Not land, but arrive to the initial approach fix of the arrival scheme. Is it hard to get fatigue five-figure salary than becoming pilot? Five-figure salary. I don't know what you mean. What do you think about Airbus A320? Nice airplane. I would like to try that airplane, but we don't have it. Those planes in our fleet of our airline. As a pilot, can we take our family members with us for free? If yes, then how many members maximum? Depends on your airline. If you speak about the Garuda Indonesia that I was working before, you can take your family 4 times per year with just 10% ticket cost. And you can take unlimited time with 50% of ticket cost. So usually we went to Ukraine like 4 times per week and we just paid 10% for the ticket. So it was like this, but every airline they have different regulations. Here in Ukraine International Airlines, I also may have free ticket, but I'll go to standby list. So if the airplane is full, I cannot take my family, I cannot fly myself. But also my airline, I can buy the ticket with the OK seat, but I need to pay something for it. Captain Block, flaps are important for takeoff and landings. Yes, they are. What do you think about the new Boeing 737 Max? There is the video on my channel. It's called "Is it safe to fly?" If is the Boeing 737 Max is safe to fly, and you'll have your reply in that video probably. I think it's nice airplane. I think with new updates, it's good airplane to fly. My personal opinion. How to become a pilot after 12? You can be maybe some glider pilot or maybe small. You can fly small airplanes. I don't know about 12. If you're 12 years old, I think it's more close to 14. What type of aircraft does UAE have? We have Embraers, we have Boeing 737s, we have Boeing 767s, and 777. Hey, I'm a bit late. Hi, nice to see you. How to calculate BMI? You can Google. You can Google the BMI and click the first link, and there you have the table. And you just need to put your weight, you need to put your height, and it will automatically give you your BMI index. They have the university degree, and if yes, what major? I have bachelor degree in National Aviation University, and I have a master's degree in State Flight Academy. What type of Boeing 737 do you use the most? I fly Boeing 737-800 mostly, and sometimes Boeing 737-900. Couple of days. Well, yesterday I flew the Boeing 737-900, and the day before I flew the Boeing 737-900 as well. Do you like to change airline in near future? No, no. In all my I had some of the airlines, mainly Uter Ukraine, Garuda Indonesia, and now it's Ukraine International Airlines. But never ever I wanted to change my airline. It just happened. So they lay off me from the first one because they got rid of the ATRs. So we have the pilots furloughs, and in Garuda, my contract just finished, and here I just applying Ukraine International, and I'm just flying here. I don't want to change the airline. Never ever in my life I wanted to change the airline. Hello from Petersburg. Hello. Would you interview Dima Antonov? Yes, I want to go to Gestamala again. I will make the review of Antonov 22, probably, if it's there. And if Dima agrees, we can do the interview with him. I'll just ask. There was a Boeing 737 MAX flying from Seattle all the way to Gatwick. That is quite long. I don't think it can fly from Seattle to Gatwick. I think they had to land somewhere in New York or something. They can fly from Gatwick, from New York to Gatwick, but not all the way from Seattle. They needed to land somewhere. Sorry, I can't help you financially. I wish I could. Fraj, don't need to help me. It's okay. You are still awesome. We are not here for that. We are here for the content. Thank you for watching me. If you are awesome, if you are following the awesome guy checklist, it means that you're awesome. And thank you very much for this kind support of yours. Um, Come on, Captain. ATR and 737 is literally different aircraft. As we know from weight, the flight deck limitations, how can just 2 weeks to get to type rating? Just 2 weeks, because the indications are very similar. I mean, the glass cockpit is very similar. It was very easy actually for me to study the new aircraft type, and yeah, it's kind of easy things. Yes, they have different weights, different performance, but the basic principle applies for mainly for all modern commercial airplanes. And from one perspective, I think ATR is better than 737 in some aspects of it. Mostly, at what time do you wake up? Depends. Usually at 9 a.m. 8, 9 a.m. Let's go to the very end of the messages, and we don't have many viewers for this live chat. I don't know why. So that is why I will disable the slow mode right now. I'll have 1 more hour streaming, my friends. So I'm gonna stream for 1 hour more, and then I'll finish because I need to edit the video. I need to publish it tomorrow. The video about our flight over Kiev and near to Chernobyl. Actually, we had two flights like that, the joy purpose flights. The first was nice, but it was cloudy after the Kiev, and people didn't see the Chernobyl station. But the next flight, that was just yesterday, it was fantastic. We had a great weather. I wasn't at that aircraft the second time, but I was on the first time, and the video is going to be tomorrow. Does university degree helps you to get to the airline? Yes, it helps because we have the limitation for pilots to apply to local airline. So I needed to have the degree, the bachelor's degree and or master's degree to apply to airline. Captain Dennis, can you make a YouTube video about meteorology things, Captain? Yes, we can do it. We can make a video about meteor. Why not? We can film about the fronts and other stuff. Does the Max have different features from the default 737? Yes, it has different wing, different engines, different cockpit, just a little bit different. Captain Nance, can you make it? Okay, the same questions. Hello from Kropivnitsky. Hello to Kropivnitsky. Uh, have you ever flown about Nagur in India? I haven't been in India, my friends. Haven't been so far. Do you enjoy the infinite service of the meal for pilots? I don't like the food that the aviation food, the air food. I don't like it. For me, it's better to have your own food prepared and take it for the flight. Do you have a private plane? No, I don't have the private plane. Sorry. Sir, 120 knots are safe to land. 120 knots is quite low for Boeing 737. Well, for empty weight airplane, should be fine, especially for short field performance too, but still quite low. For ATR, it's high. For Boeing 737, it's low. The Boeing 737 MAX stayed in the air for 9 hours and 25 minutes. Yes, nice. Have you been ever flown? I wasn't flying in India, so that's the answer to the question. What's the hour in Ukraine? We now have 5 minutes past 7. How many flying experience you have till now? I have 6,500 flight hours. What was your longest flight? It's 7 hours and 37 minutes from Almaty to Kiev. Kyiv. Hey, what question do people ask you in your interviews? As you say, what was my longest flight? What is the best airplane? Um, questions like that. Can you? Oh, you mean airline interview? Different, could be different. Why do you want to work with us? What is your experience? Some technical questions. Depends. Can you ask for destination, or do you have the flight there? What did the computer say? You have the flight plan, so you need to follow it no matter what computers say. So you need to fly according to flight plan. If you have some directions to fly to other point, that in your flight plan you will be given that point by air traffic control. uh, Dennis better here. Can you say hello to me? What is your favorite music? Welcome to Amsterdam. Thank you, Betsy. Always nice to read your comments. Thank you for commenting under all of my videos. Thank you for your kind support. Yes, Amsterdam is great, and I like music. Well, depends on my mood. Sometimes I like ambient music. Sometimes I like heavy metal. Depends. 737 doesn't have table for pilots. Yes, it doesn't have. Can I fly the Airbus on flight simulator? Yes. To fly the real airplane, I need to have the type rating to fly. So I need to go to the special training, and that will take 2 weeks. Did anyone get something stuck in 737 trim wall? Not, I don't know. Sir, I am going to sleep. Bye bye, twin blogger. Thank you for participating me on the stream. Okay, sir, do you miss to fly the ATR? Yes, sometimes I miss ATR. I know you since Garuda in Indonesia. Thank you for your long-term support. Does ATPL of one country sometimes not accepted in other countries? Yes, with my ATPL I cannot fly in European Union. I cannot fly in United States. In Ukraine, how long you'll do for recurrent your medics, I think medical exam and license. As we know, every 6 months you must do that recurrent in Indonesia. In Indonesia, it was very complicated. The medical exam was every 6 months you need to go through the hard medical exam. They check almost everything. As here it's called the initial exam or the full medical exam. In Indonesia, it's a regular exam. I don't know why. You need to go through the treadmill. You just run and they check your heart over time. Why? So it's quite hard. You need to spend one day, but you spend the whole day for the check-in. And yes, every 6 months you need to go through the uh, simulator training and check. Here it's the same. 6 months. Every 6 months you go through their um, simulator check and training. However, here we have medical check. As for my age, it's once per year. Could you say something about icing issue on ATR 72? I've flown 72 in icing conditions, in severe icing conditions. Nothing happened to that airplane, really. So they improved, they canceled, I would say. They improved that issue. They increased the surface of the icing boosters on the leading edge of the wing, and they applied the special procedures for the pilots to follow. So no more issues for ATR. Have you ever been in the United States? No, not yet. What else? They have favorite destinations or favorite departure time. My departure time, usually I like to fly from early morning, just to fly during the daytime. That's it. So I like to spend the night at home sleeping and fly during the daytime. How do you pass the time in the remaining days of the week? How do you pass the time? Well, I have the flight this week, so I'll spend the remaining part preparing for flight and fly there. Also, edit some videos on my channel. I'm 26. Isn't it late to study master's degree for being a pilot? You don't really need the master's degree to become a pilot anymore. If you have the requirement to have the degree, the bachelor's or master's degree in your country, you need to go through it. If not, just go and spend less time for your training, just going to the flight school. My major was information management technology of building programs. It's never late. It's never late. If you like it, spend time and money for it because we live just once. Pamela, I'm back. Nice to see you again. Thank you. Do you ever fly in India? Not yet. What is your favorite plane apart from Boeing? I like Airbus A350. Hello, Captain. Hello. Have you accidentally said pam pam in passenger announcement like you say in videos? No, I never said it to passengers. Just to you. Do you remember me? Muhammad Amar. Yes, of course I remember you. Salam alaikum. Alaikum assalam. How does ride a plane on runways? You just keep the rudder and apply the rudder to keep the nose on a central line. Very easy. I want to become a pilot. Great idea. All the best with your dream. Hi, bro. You're not playing in 2020. Yes, today I'm not playing. Today I'm answering your questions. Do you want me to play? Well, maybe next weekend we'll play it. If you had to pick an airline and you had to fly it, what would it be? Emirates, Ryanair, Delta? I like these companies. And what type of plane? Airbus or Boeing? Well, it depends. Well, if I want long haul connection, I will choose Emirates or something like that, Qatar. If I want to pay less, I would choose maybe Ryanair or our airline. Depends. If I want to fly in the United States, I would choose Delta, so the local airline to fly there. I would choose Delta. Probably depends, but I think I'll just choose the cheapest ticket for me, and that's it. And I don't care about the airplane, Airbus or Boeing. If later a plane my health begins to raise because I love how huge. Oh, I don't understand what you read. They have this special feeling after airplane too. Sorry, I didn't get the questions. Do you fly to India? Yes, we have charter flights to India. Mostly on Boeing 767. Do you think that it is possible to current aircraft like possible to what? To do what? Start being is it possible to current aircraft like Boeing 737 or Airbus 350 start being single pilot aircrafts? No, not in nearby 40 or 50 years. Are you being in Chernobyl like a tourist? Not yet. Probably I'll visit it, but no. Alaikum salam. Are you Muslim? No, no. But I was living in Muslim country for a very long time. So many comments about flying from India. Yes, I have. I have many viewers from India. I don't know why, but it's great that people around the world are watching me. So I like to have this attention from India, from United States, from other countries, from Netherlands, and many more. So I like it. I like it, but I don't know why. But from the India, I have most of the views from the India. I don't know why. Hello, sir. I wish to become a future pilot, and I'm looking forward the same. And please, can you assist me by saying that you say it better for being a pilot or Canada, and which airline to choose? For me, neither the USA nor the Canada are the best places for pilot. For me, here Ukraine is a nice place because here you can have upgrade very soon. I mean, upgrade for the captain position and so on, so on, so on. In the United States, the unions are very strong. So if you want to apply somewhere, apply to the major carrier like United, Delta, and then you can work only with that airline for maybe your lifetime, because then you apply there, then they hire you, they will put you to the bottom list. You'll have the least salary, and you'll have what you will fly the smallest probable possible airplane there. But before that, you should have been flying the regional airplane for 1,500 hours at least. So you'll spend probably 3 years flying. And after you apply to Delta or United, you start from the bottom, and then you'll become a pilot, a captain, sorry. um, I don't know, it'll be like 35 or something if you start from 22. So here, then in Asia, with low cost, in Europe, you can become captain in 3 years. Like I became a captain after 3 years of flying as first officer. So for me, yes, it's okay to fly in the United States, but for career development, that place is not very nice. It's my personal opinion. Do you think that's a good time to start training with this COVID crisis? Then you finish your training, I think this crisis is over. So I'm almost sure that you need to, if you want it, you can start. Why not? Does your airline fly to Norway? Greetings from Norway. No, no, we are not. We fly to the closest place, probably Denmark and Stockholm. Yes, in Sweden. Oh, no, 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 Sweden. Yeah, Stockholm. I think the Norway capital is Oslo or something. Yes, we fly to Sweden, Stockholm, and to Denmark. That's it. Is it possible to fly solo in a big airplane? I think not. Is it really? Is it really live? Yes, it is live. How much flying time do you have accumulated? I think around, according to my logbook, it's around 6,500 hours. Good about Ryanair. Ryanair is a nice airline, actually. If you want to develop your career, you can fly with Ryanair, and after you become a captain, you just fly. Maybe if you don't like it, you just fly there for 3 years, and you can apply to different airline. Then it's Betsy here again. Will you learn Dutch? I like how it sounds, the Dutch language, but I don't really need it for me because I don't live in Netherlands. So probably I will not study it because, yeah. Hey, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Hi from Russia. How are you? I'm fine, thank you, Alex. Have you been to Cardiff? If so, what do you think about it? No, I haven't been to Cardiff Airport. Sir, how long you been in Garuda? I've been in Garuda for 2 years, and it's nice experience. Do you ever fall in love with the flight attendant? How did it feel? No. Fall in love? No. Is it certified that you complete your CPL from America? You can increase your flying hours to 200. Well, I didn't get the question. How long does it take to fly from Dutch to Guayana? I don't know. Would you fly the Airbus 380 Wizz Air or Boeing 737 Ryanair? I am flying Boeing 737 already, and I would not like to have the job in low cost carriers, at least for now. I like the standard conventional airlines, not the low costs. How often did you fly to Ukraine and you were work for Garuda? I've flown like 4 times per week. So I took the Boeing 777 to fly from Jakarta to Amsterdam. So my home base was in Makassar. I took the Boeing. I usually take the Boeing 737 to fly to Jakarta. From Jakarta, I've flown the Boeing 777 to Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, I've flown the Boeing 737 of KLM or Ukraine International to Kiev. So one, two, three flights for me one way, and it was more than 24 hours one way. The longest flight, probably for me as a passenger, was on board of Garuda Indonesia 777 on flight from Jakarta to Amsterdam, more than 15 hours. Quite crazy. But usually the business class was available, so it's nice. Is Boeing creating a new aircraft to replace 737 like Airbus? Is Boeing and plan to launch by 2035? Will it be hydrogen? I don't think that we'll see the hydrogen powered aircraft in nearby future, but I hope the Boeing will develop something better than Boeing 737 MAX in future, something newer, because the MAX is still the third generation if we speak about the airplane design. There is no fly-by-wire system, there is no envelope protection as we see on Airbus or Embraer airplanes. So I hope they will develop something brand new. What do you think about the Malaysia Airlines 370, the flight that disappeared? Yes, I don't think about it. We just cannot find it. Can we increase our flying hours in America from 200 to? Don't spam, please. I will read your comments, but don't spam. From 200 hours to 1000, you need to increase those hours. If you can only increase them if you fly for regional turboprop or regional jet. That's it. You are not allowed probably to fly the Boeing 737 even without the ATP license, and that you will have. Don't put the high, or otherwise I'll block you. The last warning, sorry. Don't spam, please. Please don't spam. So first you'll have your ATP rating. For that you need 1,500 500 hours on small airplanes. After that you can go for Airbus or 737 or even higher. Is it possible for a passenger to sit on the jump seat in the cockpit? Not really. Even during the flight, not possible. Well, it is possible if you have some permission for that. For example, you are a journalist and you want to film inside the cockpit. You need to apply to airline. After that you need to apply to security service and they will check everything, and after that you may have the permission to fly on board. They just want to make sure that you have nice background behind and you are not a bad guy or something. Can you be type rated on 737 and fly also Embraer 195 at the same time? Yes, you can do it. Two planes is okay to have in one license. If you missed some important papers which were essential for the flight and you're not having the time to take them, what do you do in this case? Papers, oh, need to weigh them if they're very important, like weather information or something. I'm in my city. There is the myth that to be a pilot you have to have straight A grades. I hadn't those grades. I mean, my marks in school, my grades in school were very average. Hi Dennis, are you qualified to be a teacher for future pilots? Yes, I'm qualified to do so with my diploma. I can teach pilots and not only pilots. So I was actually teaching the pilots for private pilots course in the Dnieper city this winter, and I spent like 2 months there teaching new pilots, newcomers. I liked it. Is it possible for a passenger to sit and? Oh, okay, I already answered that. Oop. What plane do you fly in real life? I fly the Boeing 737. Nice airplane. Are pilots' children allowed in the cockpit? No, even children. Even me, not is not. I am not allowed in the cockpit if I fly as a passenger. If I fly deadhead crew somewhere, so in the future, this week I'll fly as a passenger. Uh, Pilots will not allow me in the cockpit, so I have to be the active crew. Not speaking about the children. Well, on the ground I may visit it, but not during the flight. What is the cockpit after the flight? Blah, blah, blah. How many type ratings do you have? I have the Boeing 737 type rating. What is inside wing? Because it's very long and it has to hold the engine and landing and landings. You mean landing gear and some turbulence. So surely it could snap off. No, it's very hard construction actually, but at the same time it's very flexible. Then you enter the turbulence area, you might have seen the wing was just a little bit waving. So it takes some of the load of this turbulence. If it was very strong, the fuselage will just bounce. So the wing takes these forces, and inside the wing there's the fuel tanks, and also yes, it's very hard construction as I said, and the wing root actually. So the fuselage near to the wing root, it's the hardest part of the airplane. You need to take the full loads of the aerodynamic forces, of the drag, of the lift, etc. Do you know anything about T14D trajectories that are being implemented? Not yet, sorry. As we know, Boeing 737 Max has to get permit to fly again from a couple of countries. Do you think some information from Boeing has to fix the 737 design? You may check out my video about that, and it's on my channel about the Boeing 737 Max. Is it safe to fly it again? And I'm sure that it's safe with new updates from Boeing. How many years have you been working for UAE? 4 years. 1 year as the first officer and 3 years as a captain. Is it confirmed that you will get a job in a regional airline in America, and how much time will it take to complete the ATPL? So you need to accumulate 1,500 hours, and that usually takes you 2.5 or 3 years. In pre-COVID times, now we have less flights than usual, as you see, so it might take you quite longer time. And also, it's not guaranteed that you'll have your job after you finish your pilot training, even for regional air carrier. Crisis, but soon I think the situation will improve in a couple of years, and the chances for you to get the job will be higher. Can you become a pilot with a criminal record? I think in my country it's not possible. I think in Indonesia it's also not possible because they requested the zero criminal record. So I need to apply for our police department to confirm that I don't have any crimes behind. I don't think it's really possible in most of the countries. Yes, it's better to live according to the law, if you like it
Bum
or
bum.
not.
Just for a good mood. Stay positive and publish Tel Aviv, please.
Alex, yes, I'll publish then I fly to Tel Aviv. I have one video, but it's not very good. Just landing in Tel Aviv, and it's not the pilot blog format. If you like it, I can publish maybe next week. Just landing and taxiing in a Tel Aviv night. Tel Aviv, not really interesting to see. I hope to fly there very soon, and I'll film the pilot blog about that. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you. I'll film about it, then I fly it. I think so. Boom, 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 boom. How did you become a captain in the UAE in 4 years? I became the captain just after 1 year flying in UAE. They needed captains, and that is why I became a captain. There was the place for me to apply. I mean, they require captains, and I was one of the chosen first officer to apply for the position. To apply for the captain seat, usually you go through the same screening as for your initial screening. So psychometric test, assessments, again interviews, and final step is flight simulator. Oh no, the final step probably the line training and check. Here, my airline, you need to have two simulators. So once you pass the simulator from left seat, you go for your line training, and after line training, you go for your loft line-oriented flight training and also check flight simulator. And after that, You go with your flight check ride, and after that, you can fly as a captain. It was not very easy to pass all of these steps, but I passed. How does the flight attendant annoy pilots during the flight? They do not annoy me. They're my colleagues. Why should they? What is the time in your country, sir? Now it's 30. It's 25 minutes to 8 p.m. Sorry for repeating question. Is it usual to forget the star clock chrono during takeoff procedure? Yes, sometimes you just forget it because it's not very important. And is it often happens that other crew member will miss some line in the checklist? Yes, that also may happen, and it's it's not bad to do mistakes. It's bad not to recognize the mistake. That is why we have two pilots in the cockpit. So if one pilot will misses the item, usually the other pilot will react to it because you get used to the checklist. If you miss something, something is wrong here. And even if the other pilot will not react to the missed line or something, the airplane will react. It has the automatic alert systems, warning systems that, of course, warn if something will go wrong. For example, if you forget to extend the flaps before the takeoff, you missed the checklist line flaps, you missed it, and you just taken off without the flaps, the airplane will warn you with a sound like bam, 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 bam. So I'm not ready for takeoff. Extend the flaps. Oh, reject the takeoff. Extend the flaps. Okay, now we can go. It didn't happen to me, but I know the stories. Hey Dennis, what do you think about the flight 752? No comments. Please tell my name, please, sir. Vlog. Love from. Okay, tell my name. Cristino Di Mario. I told your name. um, how was your first flight as a captain? Oh, wow. Ah, you mean as a captain? Probably the first flight on ATR, I actually do not remember. It was just a regular flight to Donetsk and coming back. But I do remember my first flight here as a Boeing 737 captain. If it is interesting for you, just read the comment here, and I can tell about it. For now, I'll just go to other questions. In America, is there any airline cadet program for international students? I don't think so. If you want to study in America, it's okay. You just apply for the special visa. But if we're speaking about the cadet program for our airline, they hire only US citizens or the ones who have the right to live and work in United States. So you need to have the green card to apply there. That's the normal thing. They will not pay for you. So if you want to pay your own money, go and study in United States. And if you want them to pay for you, I don't think there are chances. Do you ever need to move passengers to balance the aircraft? Mm, just yesterday, actually. There is some ground stability procedure of Boeing 737 Boeing 737 800 and 900. So we arrived in Sharm el Sheikh. We had the aft center of gravity. It's okay. So we moved some of the passengers we actually offloaded some of the passengers from the back part of the airplane. So other passengers were moved to the front part of the airplane, but it's just ground stability. On ATR 72, several times I moved the passengers to the back because it was forward center of gravity. And once um, it was interesting once. Then I flew the ATR 72, and the center of gravity, according to papers, it was fine, but it was hard for me to keep the airplane airborne. Actually, I had very tough forces on my controls. So I moved passengers to the back, and after that it was much easier to control this aircraft, because the 72, the ATR 72, was it is a very long aircraft, and they loaded. We had there are 70 seats, and they loaded 30 passengers just on the front. So we had 30 passengers, around 30 passengers, and they loaded it just on the front of the at the front of the airplane, and they loaded just the forward cargo compartment. It was quite hard to control the airplane, so I moved them back. Let's go to the comments, my friends. Are you going to continue performing flights to nowhere? I hope, because it's very interesting to participate those flights. As for me, but I think we'll just wait for the weather to stabilize a little, because now it's springtime, and it's very hard to predict the weather conditions. And for those flights, you need to have good weather to see the Kiev, to see the Gostomel, to see the Chernobyl. So we need to have quite good weather. So the first attempt, we were not so successful as with the second attempt just yesterday. Hi Dennis, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. What is the seniority? Seniority is your rank. It depends when you came to the airline. If you were working here for 10 years or more, you have the high seniority rating. If you are a newcomer, you'll have the lowest seniority. It's a normal thing. It's for my airline, it's for every major carrier like United, Delta, or something. And your salary actually depends on your seniority rating. And I think it's nice. In America, is there any airline cadet programs? I already answered that. How much money you have invested to become a CPL pilot? There is the video on my channel, my way to become a pilot. And there I told you that I invested just $6,000 to become a commercial pilot.
Bum,
Why?
bum.
You may check there.
Dennis, how do pilots train to ignore the tunnel vision effect? Tell us a little bit about it.
Dennis, how do pilots train to ignore the tunnel vision effect? Tell us a little bit more about it. Okay, Alex, thank you for your support, and let's talk about the tunnel vision. Well, then you fly, you have some stress, right? So you can have the lowest possible level of stress, and you can have the highest possible. The highest stress will lead you to uncontrolled state, and it's called panic state. Then you panic. You don't think by your human brain, by your cortex. You think by your reptile brain, and they will direct your vision to the some part of they will minimize your vision to some specific area, and usually it's called tunnel vision. So you don't hear anything, you don't see anything around, you just concentrate. Usually it's artificial horizon, you just concentrate on artificial horizon. The airplane warning doesn't help you. It may turn you to this panic state. So you have lots of stress. For example, you have engine fire, engine damage, loss of electrical at the same time, loss of air traffic control communication. And if you are not prepared, it can lead you to tunnel vision. And the one thing can help if the other pilot will temporarily close your eyes, if he or she okay. For example, first officer, him or she may close your eyes, just delete your, like, reset of your vision, reset of your cortex, reset of your brain. That may help you to come back to the normal state. So the tunnel vision is the part of very stressful condition, but you need to be prepared for that. You need to wait. Okay, and then you take off. You need to wait that probably I need to reject, right? So you need to be ready for situation. If you are not ready, the situation will control you, and you need to control the situation. Okay, I need to reject. So okay, we airborne now probably is the worst part for engine failure, or maybe I'll have engine fire. So you need to have mentally prepared for to be mentally prepared for that. And what helps, the flight simulators, the regular flight simulator training helps, because on flight simulator you basically go through these scenarios and you prepare yourself for it. So then you fly simulator, fly the flight simulator, you have these stressful situations. And if you have those situations in your real life, oh, I already prepared for that. I can, let's go to procedure. Let's follow the procedure. But sometimes it may happen. So basically, the tunnel vision is the stressful condition of human being. Then we don't think by our cortex, we think of our reptile part of the brain, basically instincts. Wow, not good in English. I love your videos. Thank you. Thank you. What mental math do you do as a pilot? Multiply, delete, plus, minus. That's it. Uh, how can someone perfect this aviation performance? I didn't get the question. That has happened to me. Then will you fly to Dubai? Hopefully at the end of the of this month. Hopefully I'll fly and film it. And I like you, then I had short hair. I like you, then you had short hair. Hmm, thank you. It means you're watching me for a very long time. What do you do then you are not flying? Autopilot is on. If the autopilot is on, we are still flying. We put the data to the automatic flight control system. What heading should we fly? What point should we fly direct to? What altitude should we fly, or flight level? So basically, we are controlling the flight, but not manually. We control it through the automatic flight control system. Hello, Captain. Can you explain why Russian aircraft like Ilyushin 62 or Tupolev have very different instrument layout compared to other aircraft? For example, vertical speed indicator next to altitude indicator. I cannot explain it. Yes, they have some differences. Especially Antonov 24 and 26, the ergonomics of the cockpit is very strange, and yeah, your eyes needed to be all around the front panel. Uh, they are all running around. I don't know why they're done like that. I don't know. I4D trajectories is a connection between plane FMS and air traffic control, because they can see. I understood the speed and time. Yes, yes. I think they have this special surveillance system. Depends on the radar. Probably if you have the also the ADSB out installed on your airplane, probably they are connected to this system. I'm not sure. Where do you use algebra? Well, we don't mainly use algebra, then we calculate, but we use some of geometry to calculate the angles, well, to count sinuses, to find the crosswind component or headwind or tailwind component. You need to know these angles and how to find the one side of the triangle. Very simple, actually. King Bounty, I'm back. Nice to see you. What are the steps a pilot need to take if she wants to transition to different type of aircraft in the same company? Well, usually you'll have the email from your company. Okay, we need pilots for that particular aircraft, and the people with that flight hours, with that time of the company. For example, it's 3 years in an airline with 4,000 hours. You can apply for, let's say, Embraer, and if you want, you can apply, and they will choose. Maybe seniority list will help to choose. Usually, it's like that. Okay, what happens if the English are floyd away? I don't, I didn't get the question. Then the aircraft is autopilot. Can you be working on something else? Let's say, for example, or architecture or any other major, or watching movie or reading the book. Well, for reading the book, you can do it during your cruise flight. Yes, the autopilot is on. There is not a lot of workload, so it doesn't matter that the autopilot is on. You can do something. It depends on loading on the crew load. During a cruise flight, you are not overloaded. Autopilot, you can select the autopilot on passing 400 feet, but still you need to perform SID. You need to communicate, blah blah blah. In a cruise flight, one pilot can do that. So one pilot may control the airplane, may follow the control the parameters, follow the operational flight plan, file it, call to ATC, and the other pilot may read the book. If we are speaking about the movies, sometimes it's prohibited because you put the earplugs, and other pilot also need to be aware of what is happening inside the cockpit. So it depends on the airline. How can aircraft improve in future? They will be more efficient. Maybe in a very far future there will be hydrogen fuel, but not for now. So basically, we'll see the same good old airplanes with bigger, efficient engines and better aerodynamics. We'll see that. Can you tell a simple example with geometry? For example, you're going to land for runway 36 right in Boryspil, and you have the wind of, so your final course for runway is 356, and you have the wind, let's say 3, the direction of the wind is 330 degrees, and the wind is 10 knots. It means that you have the angle 30 degrees. So the sinus of this is half of your hypotenuse of the triangle. So we have the wind of 10 knots, the half of it is 5 knots. It means that you'll have the crosswind of 5 knots. Very easy. Dennis, but again, can you dancing? I can learn you. No, I cannot dance, but my daughter, she goes to the special dancing school. So yeah, I like watching her dancing. Hello, Dennis. Have a good evening. Yesterday, I flew to Egypt on a Boeing 737-800 as a captain. Huh. It's really warmer there. Can you take a vacation and rest? Today, I flew back to Kiev. Hello, Artem. Nice place there. I also visited Egypt a couple of days ago. It was very windy. The wind was 36 knots, almost with the runway heading, but it was very strong. So the sand particles were flying around. It was crazy there. But the next day it was fine. The temperature was around 25 degrees during the daytime. So I think it's quite cool for this time. But we have many passengers flying there. Hi, Captain. Love from Turkey. Greetings to Turkey. What makes an aircraft stable? Basically, aerodynamics of the aircraft makes it stable. Also, this if the airplane was built as unstable airplane, the flight control system takes over and makes it stable. That happened to Tupolev 154. It was not stable aircraft according to its characteristic, but the flight control system performed better to stable it, let's say like that. Why most of the runways and airports in Europe are not prepared for heavy snowfalls? I don't know why, but from my experience, I fly in Europe quite often, and the runways were not covered by snow. Let's say they were cleared. Are all aircraft the same for? Are all aircraft the same or some different in terms of flying? There's some different, but the idea to fly the small Cessna or the big 777, the idea is the same, but the way you control the airplane may be different. Let's say like that. That is why you need to have the type rating because every airplane is different in some way, especially for the procedures, for the systems. That's why you need type rating. For a small aircraft, let's say Cessna, Piper, and Tecnam, Socata, you can have the one type rating because they do not require these differences. So if you fly Cessna, you can easily fly Piper. So you can have one type rating for those two airplanes. Which is better to fly, an Airbus or Boeing? As for pilot, I think Airbus is just a little bit more comfortable for a pilot than Boeing. I mean, it doesn't have this big yoke in the front, so basically have table, have a side stick, very easy to control it. I was flying the Airbus A320 and A330 on real flight simulators, and they were absolutely fantastic airplanes to fly and very comfortable to sit here. Then you have nothing between your legs. I mean, this huge yoke. I think you would have tired speaking from too much time. Once I had the stream continuously speaking for 5 hours and 40 minutes. 5 hours and 40 minutes. I didn't record the stream on my YouTube, but probably I'll keep this one. But it was the first stream that I had, 5 hours and 40 minutes, and my throat was burning after the stream. It was crazy. Today I was at Kherson airport. It was amazing, but only one plane landed there. It was Airbus 390 of Turkish Airlines. He have stopped in front of me and I saw pilots. Wow, great experience. I would like to visit Kherson airport, but we don't have flights there on Boeing 737. Probably just a Briar flies there or Windrose airline. They fly there for us. Do you have plans to continue on Boeing 737 MAX? Or do you want to upgrade to Boeing 737 800 MAX, or you want to upgrade to bigger planes like Boeing 777 and Boeing 787, etc.? My friends, I like what I have. The Boeing 737 is awesome, and as my pilot nature, I do not like to fly long haul cruise flights. Then you fly in a small cockpit for a very long time, you'll just get bored. Communication, ATC sometimes need to with the weather. That's all you have. So then I have short haul flights, but quite many legs per day, like let's say 4 flights per day, but they're short. Nice. It's nice for me. If I have long flight to Dubai and coming back, well, for current time, it's also nice because I have many flight hours. But usually during the pre-COVID times, I didn't like to fly long haul. For now, it's okay. Now I just fly some of the flights, and that will bring more flight hours. Like yesterday, I flew to Sharm el Sheikh, like 4 hours flight. To Dubai, 5 hours flight. But I just get bored to stay in the cockpit for a cruise for too long. So I like my favorite parts are takeoffs climbs, descents, and landings, not being in a cruise flight. So the long haul for me, spending more than 8 hours inside a cockpit, it's just crazy. Have you ever landed in Tivat? Not yet. Not yet. What is the life of pilot like? Interesting question. I would say it's unstable life. Today, everything might be okay with your airline, in your job, but someday crisis may just appear like it appeared the year before, and you may lose your job, you may lose the part of your income. So you cannot predict the future if you are a pilot. But still, I like it. I like this job. Do you have a life partner? Yes, I have a wife. She's my life partner. What will happen to the aircraft after COVID? Should they be rechecked? Yes, they all should be rechecked if they were parked for a very long period. What are the degrees are useful to become pilot? Tell me some courses which is not more difficult to study. To become a pilot, you just need to go to the flight school for a private pilot license training, commercial pilot license training, and airline transport pilot license training. How did you get the money for ATPL? My parents gave me the money. That's all what I can say. Do pilots train their manual skills flying modern aircraft? Sadly, but I don't see that happening. Well, for private pilot license, you have to have the manual skills. But what I can see now, let's say, for example, spin, yeah, deep stall, super stall, the spin. I don't see that stuff in modern day programs. So then you enter the super stall in real life. You may not know how to react to it. Well, you don't need to go to it firstly, but I know that some pilots they just afraid because they didn't experience it in their career. I experienced that. I purposely did the super stall, the spin on the glider on Yakovlev, but nowadays, for example, the Technam 2002 that I am flying right now, the small airplane, it is not approved for the super stall for the spin, but it is approved for the pilot training. So yes, the things are like that. Like that. Did you pay for your type rating? No, my airline paid for it. But after they deduct some money from my salary, but it's quite okay. It's usual stuff. Is pilot training in Philippines good? I think yes. Why not? It depends on where are you going to fly next. Okay, we'll answer three more questions, and that's it for now. Did you fly to destinations in South America? No, I fly the Boeing 747 and it doesn't fly to South America. What is your salary as a captain in UAE? I cannot say you the exact number because I cannot do it according to my contract, according to my airline regulations. Just can tell you that we don't have huge salaries nowadays because of the crisis. Hi Dennis, how can I enter Ukraine post COVID with a private plane cheaply? Big airports like Lviv, Kiev, or Odessa are very expensive. I don't think they are very expensive. So I would like to use regional general aviation France. I don't think they're expensive. I think for Lviv you need to pay $20 for landing or something. Depends on what airport you want to choose in Lviv. There is a Yagellon airport on the south part of the Lviv, and it's very cheap to fly there. Okay, one more question. That's it. One more question. Talking about total air temperature, how many degrees from 737 can hold? Total air temperature. How many? There is no limitation in FCOM as far as I remember, but let me check it in AFM, Aircraft Flight Maintenance Manual. Okay, more questions because yeah, I need to answer. Are there any airlines in Europe that accept pilots only with like 250 hours of flying? In Europe, yes, yes. How many airports located in Kiev region? More than five. Boryspil, Zhuliany, Antonov, Gostomel. Boryspil, Zhuliany, Antonov, Gostomel. Four. Maybe military. Vasil Kiev is five, but it's just military. Um, okay, I think that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for participating in this live stream. Tomorrow, now I will go to editing and I will edit the video about the flight to nowhere, so-called flight to nowhere, but actually it was the flight over the Kiev city and not only. And probably it will be interesting for you to see. And also have the interview there in that video with our passenger and also aviation enthusiast from the Switzerland. His name is Kevin, and he arrived to Ukraine just to see, to participate us on this flight. So he bought the ticket to fly over the Kiev, and he came here from Switzerland. Very interesting. And yes, now I'll just go to editing and I'll have the pictures from the cockpit as well for that video. Sadly, there is no sound, so I was given only with the video, but not the sound. So sorry about it. I'll put some music there as well. Thank you for watching this stream, and maybe I'll save it, maybe not. We'll see. And have a great time, my friends. Follow the awesome guy checklist, by the way. Thank you. Thank you.